Are you quite done being a magic man yet? I'm just getting started. Commence the magicking. Gather the magicking. That's me, magic man, extraordinarily supreme magicer. Let's get to the other part. Let's get to the other 3 portals. Now that I've been through 3 of them, 3 more, and then a 7th one. Wow, 7 portals. Who knew that's how it worked? Pretty easily so. Got these guys over and over again. Not much to say other than symmetry in motion, as opposed to poetry in motion. This one's... Would you say symmetry is like the... something of something? Yeah, I don't know which metaphor it was either. But perhaps if I collect potions, I could help myself feel better. Indeed. Florts quask. How about we quaff the courts sometimes? Yep. I like saying the word quaff. It's the best way of saying drinking. Instead you're quaffing. Oh boy! The Wendigos! They back! And then... It's weird how we've taken Native American language and just made it an ice golem. But, I don't know. Names don't always make sense in this world that is the Hexen of the world of Hexen. The ice, it moves up. It matches the polygon, it squishes me, and makes me feel bad that when I die, the redness actually interferes with my ability to look at a goddamn menu. Definitely take that feature off. Make it so the menu isn't red when you're dead. Better dead than having the menu red. Which is funny on 2 accounts. Both of them belonging to me. So stay off. Stay off my accounts, damn it! Freezing power of freeze. But I told you to freeze. You will not freeze me today, as soon as I figure out how to jump 5 inches. Oi. Well, at least you always know when they're around based on their sound. At least I know how to rhyme on a dime. Set in time for my lime/lemon. The lemon Devon. Oh no! Words are correct. Words are incorrect now. Who will save us? The nonsense man. Not Captain Obvious, Captain Oblivious. He has no idea what's going on. Nothing is obvious to Captain Oblivious. Speaking of, how's that Oblivion? You know what's funny? I did try out Oblivion for the first time. Because that's not really my kind of thing to do. Like CRPGs, I guess, in general. Even though Oblivion is not a typical CRPG. But, pointing is, I tried it, and, I somehow crashed the game. So, yeah. I guess I should have expected that, given this is Bethesda that we're talking about, but I lost like an hour of progress, so I was mad. Because I thought it was like, it was auto-saving, like, a number of times, and then it just didn't. I was doing good, too. I had a lot of magic spells. I was, like, collecting arrows out the ass. Oh boy, did I have trouble with the loot, because I was just like, I had to decide what I was going to dump. And most of that ended up being just old armor, because of how the, well, that's usually the heavy shit, isn't it? So I'm just like, okay, as long as this doesn't sell for super much, I'm just taking this off. But yeah, I did what I did when I played Morrowind, and I play as a Dunmer. Because, haha, Drizzt. Actually, no, I think I played as a Dark Elf before I knew about the whole Drizzt stuff. Although, that's probably no accident. So maybe I did know about it subconsciously. It's a common story. A species is known for a thing, and then you make a character that rebels against said concept. Happens in Star Trek all the freaking time. Makes you wonder about how writing is. When you want to take a concept and turn it back on its head and be like, that's not what the concept is. No! Aha! I like how there's a special frozen sprite for every single enemy in the game. I don't think there's one for the boss sprites, so I don't know if the Wyvern, the Heresiarch, and Korax have freeze sprites. You could try and find out, though, if you have the time. Or maybe look in some, like, cutting room floor shit or some shit like that. Florin! Frozen. I was frozen today! Yeah. Last time I froze a thing in a first-person shooter, oh shit, it was Duke Nukem 3D. And the freeze thrower is a lot more fun to use than this. Oh well. Actually, I was really hoping that, like, that Duke Nukem 3D Legacy mod I'd heard about was gonna incorporate episodes 4 and 5 somehow. Maybe they can do that in the future. They do instead kind of combine elements of alpha and beta data with some semi-original level design, combining like how levels used to look in beta in conjunction with how they look in the original, or you know, the Atomic Edition rather. Which means if you're already familiar with how Duke Nukem 3D plays, then you actually have a reason to play it again. It's kind of like, yeah, it's basically a remix of Duke Nukem 3D, essentially. Maybe you would call it like a Sonic Mania of sorts, but a little less so. I think that has some level of accuracy to it, because it doesn't exactly have newer levels. And as music, good music, sung by Andrew Hushult, who makes the good music. So good it was commissioned to make music for Dusk. Good for this guy. He's a good guy, I think. I don't know, but his music is good. I'm so tilted about these towers, they tilt me. Hey, wait a minute. These ice things, I can freeze them too! Haha! It's like when you freeze an ice Pokemon, and you burn a fire Pokemon, and you poison a poison Pokemon. Ha ha ha! You are not immune to your own bullshit! If only I could say the same of such a thing. I'm not immune to getting ass blasted. Or, what is it I'm good at that I'm not immune to? Pretty much everything. That's why we have brain duels here at the Gaming Wolf Palooza. Brain dueling. Actually, that's something I need to investigate. There's this, like, what was this card game called? Like, was it Night Trap? Or not Night Trap. There's like this lateral thinking card game, which is bullshit. And I don't know how much I cared for it. Other than being like, it worked better as a philosophical discussion than realizing it was an actual answer to the question. Like, it's rhetorical questions, and the game just gives you actual answers for them. You're like, sure, if you put it that way. So it's usually a trick of semantics, or implying something that wasn't said. Usually. Not that it makes, again, it makes for great discussion, but as, like, a game, not really. Oh, but it makes you a genius. You gotta join the Genius Quarter. Oh, well, I mean, yeah. Sure. I've been through all kinds of weird education missteps and the opposite of missteps. So hiccups and skips and stuff. Basically, my educational history has fluctuated wildly. And has done me both no favors and many favors. It's pretty much said to me that, like, you know, there isn't a single school of thought. Which I suppose is true, technically. But it means that it also tells me if something's right in, like, multiple places that have nothing to do with each other, well, maybe it's just right generally. Even if that doesn't actually make sense. Like, peer review could be pretty privy to being, like, appeal to popularity, right? Or appeal to authority. But how would you know exactly? That's why a bunch of people have to do it. Like, the more the better, I guess. It's like, oh, if you don't agree with my thing, you're not getting paid for your lab experiments. Like, hey! I guess the only thing for it is for everyone to try to replicate every experiment ever. Which we do ad infinitum, just in case something quantum changes how physics works. So Speaking of, how about that, Kelvin? Are you at absolute zero yet? That's like Sub-Zero's ultimate form. Absolute zero. How about Scorpion's ultimate form? Boiling point! No? Alright. What is the hottest thing ever that we know about or could be conceived as hot? Would it be like a quasar, perhaps? It's the only thing I can think of. There I go again, using those QU words. Shoot him up. Take your meds. Now I'm going on the this side. Oh, I thought I was going to clean all that up first, but nope. Nope, we're just doing this. We're doing this, man. I could have, though. I guess I just don't want more things spawning. Not that I know if it doesn't stop them from spawning while I'm away. Who would want to test that? Not me. No, you froze me! Ah! Well, yes. Yes, I did. Magic is a dish best served cold, after all. Nice magic. I guess I'm an evoker? Yeah, that's right. I evocate. I subliminate. I transfigurate. I accelerate. I exterminate. I do all those things. Actually, you know what that reminds me of? There used to be this thing, like, before we did all these AI algorithm things with, like, image generation. You know what we did? We did these, like, random text generator things. I think someone I followed has done something like this recently, but it's just like, you put text in and out comes something based on it. One of those things would be like putting two words together and seeing what is superior based on just a random seed, but it's always the same seed if you put in the same words. These were pretty much called generators, and I used to be able to find a bunch of them to pass the time when I was like in between classes or just sitting somewhere for 5 minutes. But one of those things I remember, I'm going to try to find again, because there was this whole website of all this kind of crap, now that I'm talking about it. It would have been something I saved on Stumble Upon back when that was a thing. What was it? Yeah, it was like the Dalek text generator, where it all rhymes with exterminate. It just chooses a word that rhymes with exterminate every time you refresh the page. Not that it would make sense, but as long as it had ATE at the end, he would make it say it. And it's not like it'd be written, it would just be written out. It's not really that fancy. It was just like, a lot of these things this guy made were just, you know, conceptual, experimental. They didn't exactly have to have purpose, but sometimes it was worth a shot, and a lot of peculiar oddities. That was the kind of thing I liked about the internet. Random crap like that, you know. That's another thing, having Flash cartoons like Star Runner, because it's like, you know, it's like when you had those like interactive DVD movie things, like a Choose Your Own Adventure, or not quite that, but you know, little interactions with the cartoon if you put your mouse on the button. And we've lost a lot of that shit now. Although I imagine there's a lot of people who have archived a bunch of Flash stuff. I know they archived a few Lego games because I missed a few of them. They were puzzle games. One specifically I remember being called Jump Thought, because it's basically Lemmings, but you place Lego blocks. And it was just one guy and not a whole bunch of Lemmings. There was some other one that was like a sort of strategy-ish game. Not quite, but I liked it too. And there was some other stuff that I'm forgetting immediately. But hey. Like, maybe that stuff is still a mini-clip or something, except not really, unless it got replaced by... Actually, wait, where are all the... Are there still Java applets, though? I think there is. Like, that Stick RPG thing is still there, so I guess Java applets didn't really die off. Why do we just carry over a Flash stuff with the... I don't know. It's like, but Flash is insecure. I mean, Flash is insecure because it's been around for so long and someone figured it out. I think that won't happen with something else, because it will. I think the real problem is that Flash wouldn't access your internet cookies or whatever. And it's just like, nah, dude. yeah, that was it. It was how it saved stuff on its own, like, cloud. Like, that was cloud computing, was when a Flash game asked you to save, like, you know, a few thousand kilobytes of data for a single game. That was the cloud. The cloud is a bullshit concept, by the way. It just means it's being saved somewhere used somewhere other than your computer. So it's like, what am I even doing? And why isn't the internet fast enough to justify such a thing? Because it's not.
Although I have thought about cloud computing, but that's only for like sandboxing reasons and testing reasons. I actually did test out having my own server. Why, you ask? There's a couple reasons. One of those is to host my own, like, first-person shooter servers. I've done it with Team Fortress 2. I could probably do it again. I just don't want to.
Pretty sure I was able to host Left 4 Dead servers also, if that counts, but you don't really need to do that. And as for Doom servers that are made with, like, I forget what that service is called, or program. Doom Finder, or whatever the fuck. I've definitely forgotten. That has things where you can just have your own servers for it too, and it's just... Why did we give that shit up? Why do we do random matchmaking? That was the worst idea for internet gaming. Like, I can understand matchmaking based on, like, doing ranking matches. That I can understand, but when you're just doing a casual match, you don't want to be going with someone random. You want have some idea of what people know. So, and I feel like this only happened when companies took away, like, the desire to have us have our own community servers. They must have realized it would have formed toxicity as a result. Or just bullshit. What I'm saying is allow custom servers. People want to hang out places that are consistent and coherent. Some things still exist. Like, I'm pretty sure Unreal Tournament servers still exist. Even though I get my ass blasted the moment I got in there, I could at least say, hey, guy, who's like around the same age as me, who still plays this game, it's just you and me from the other side of the universe playing a game. Actually, Unreal Tournament has more than that. I'm pretty sure it has more than 2 people playing it. I just mean, like, imagine this one game you play, it's like, I found the one guy in the universe that plays this game. And we're both playing it at the same time. It is a miracle of life. Until we meet again, my friend. So here's an interesting thought. I don't know if ice residue remains on the ground the whole time, or if eventually it's erased. In which case, you've disintegrated the corpse. No, I still see some of it being iced. I would like to see if you could ice the corpse afterwards. But no. You know what's cool about wanting the centaurs? I can do them if they're in front of each other. So I could pierce through one to get to the other, even if he's still blocking. He can't block this at all. So I can just keep firing around it until he finally fucking dies. Which is pretty cool. It's slow, but it's cool. And yes, you could actually try to freeze him effectively. As long as he's not blocking you, because then you're going to hit yourself. Of course. I don't know if that happens when you're trying to freeze him at, like, the close enough range in which you're literally putting your hand on him. But I fret to try. You think you get crushed by that, but no. This particular pillar doesn't actually crush things at all. I don't know how it was designed that way, but it does do things that way. Ba-ba. 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 Well then. Mr. Centaur, how does it go in my face? The best face of all, Mr. Flachet. Are you ready to tankery? Yes, sir, I am. It's Tony Sinclair who's ready to tankery. Yeah. That's a weird alcoholic ad. It's just like, alright, my advertisement is, it's gonna make you do a cool dance. Like, okay, I guess. Trying to make it sound like tango, I realize. And how come no one's invented the mango tango? Do it now! Or like the Black Mamba Samba. Stupid shit that's happening in Cuban dances. dun, 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 dun. I'm trying to remember this card game. Oh yeah, Canasta. Yep. That was it. No discussion needed. But I was actually thinking about Pogo.com and how it's like still around, I think. And how before Retro Achievements, that's what I would have had. And wow, is that not really fun? I mean, it is in a sense fun in some ways, but also no. It also had what could be the original Wordle, which is like this cactus popping word game, I don't know, something like that. But it was purchased by EA early on, and that's when they came up with the achievement system that's known in modern video games. So you have casual gaming to blame for the achievement system. How about that, asshole? It's all the rules. I dislike when achievements are based on, like, you may have seen this before, but I guess some of it is a nod on why are you trying to do this achievement in the first place, which is just like, beat the developer at the game to get this achievement. It's just like, wow, what if the developer's dead, jackass? Like, you don't want achievements that rely on, like, real life people to actually be present. The game's achievements need to be separate from the real world. They need to be confined within the game's ability. Don't do shit like that. Don't make an achievement that's like, hope this multiplayer server's still up, because if it's not, you're never achieving this in your whole lifetime. Or like, spend $5 on a game, and then they make it free, and it's like, well, I guess you can't do this anymore. Like, that kind of dumb shit. No. But in retro achievements, it's a different problem. Whereas, I don't think people test their achievements at all. Which makes them set the bar a little too high. This is the problem I see in ROM hacks, which is people are like, oh yeah, this will be cool, and then this will be cool, and then it's like, have you tested this? Is this even fucking possible? It is if I use all these tools. That's the fun, right? Being meta about the game. No, it's not. You have to find another Nintendo Switch. No problem, son. Just give me all the Joy-Cons that you can handle. Is it weird they have a thing called Nintendo Switch? That's kind of like when you have Microsoft Windows. Yes, my brand is based on a subject in which will take over the very concept of the thing. Microsoft tried to do it on the phones by calling it Surface. You know, it's like, no. I guess after having, like, the PC, you would think, but no. What about DOS? It's Disk Operating System. That's as generic as it gets, buddy. Literally defining the thing as that thing. So what do you use for an operating system with a disk in it? Well, I guess computers started without the disk. These little CRT monitor things. So it's like the monitor came with your keyboard and the computer all in one device. It's like, oh boy. Hello, I am your agent computer. How can I do for you? Call me Coach. We are useful to boot. The future is the past. The retro machines at last. The future is the past. Time to take a revenge. A revenge on the new computers that are so new. And yeah. I've heard it in NVIDIA guys quoted as saying, Moore's Law is dead. I don't think that's technically true. I think Moore's Law has stopped. Because we need something really smaller than an atom to make more efficient computers, and we can't do that right now. So, thus ends another potential for limited growth and possibly technological design businesses. But you know what? People still need people that are good at computers, and we're just dusting them all off in favor of, people you know. Because if people are your friends and they have more money, obviously they're more useful than someone who's actually intelligent, and despite you thinking they won't work because they don't have the money in which to do so. So, phooey to Yui.